Okay, today we're going to start back in the beginning of Mindy's channel origins and then come back to some very fresh tea. Reminder, this is a commentary channel. I do not know Mindy or any of these clowns personally. Everything I say is allegedly based off the information from her videos or public records with my own speculation that I will make clear. Mindy started her channel in late 2016, and it was all over the place in terms of content. She did a lot of Harry Potter content, makeup, whatever was popular at the time, but she really wasn't getting views. If you look right now, her video average is like 3K. You have to factor in the fact that once a YouTuber becomes more famous, a lot of people will go back and watch their old videos. So I imagine when these videos were up, they were probably under 1,000 views or so. Also, let's talk about her channel name because, like I said, came across some very interesting information today. The dictionary definition of minx is a impudent, cunning, or boldly flirtatious girl or young woman. Is that not a weird, not flattering name to call yourself? Larry's nickname for Mindy is Minky, based on minx. And some people have said that in a video she said that she picked minx as her YouTube name because her real last name was taken. But Mindy Minx is also taken by an adult star. So it is odd that she picked that name, and I used to think that she just really didn't know what it meant when she picked it. Like she thought it just meant young or pretty, and then she made it her brand, and it was too late to change later. Lots of people have said that even when they liked Mindy, it was embarrassing to say because they knew what Minx was, and it just didn't match who Mindy tried to portray on YouTube. Anyway, it wasn't until 2018 that she finally introduces Larry in a video titled Meet My Husband, Yes, We're 30 Years Apart. So it was like about a year and a half or 2 years that she was just doing her solo content, and now she introduces Larry. I had already been watching Mindy for a bit because of her Harry Potter content, and I liked her Universal Studio Halloween Horror Nights video. And in that video, you can actually see Larry, but she's with her family and a bunch of people, so he doesn't seem out of place, and she makes no mention that that's her husband. Anyway, when Mindy introduced Larry, I had thought that she just wanted to get it over with, introduce her husband so it wasn't something that she had to hide. In that video, she says that people ask all the time who she's talking to off screen, and that's why she decided to introduce him. At this time, I liked Mindy, but she wasn't my favorite YouTuber and I hadn't been following her for long, so I wasn't questioning her or her motives at the time. I thought she just took a chance, introduced her husband, and it went well, and then her views started going up, so I assumed people were asking her about her age gap, and she just changed her channel based off of the views and the requests. However, shortly after she introduced Larry, she did Barcroft, Truly, and Dr. Phil. Looking back now after following her for years, I feel like she just tries to find a niche to bring in followers. Harry Potter was her first niche because she doesn't seem to be like the biggest Harry Potter fan. She's never read the books. She only watches the movies, and she'll go a while without mentioning Harry Potter, and then she'll just bring it back. Afterwards, she did the IVF niche, even though she doesn't fit the typical IVF type of story, and then the baby niche. So I feel like she does chase niches. Anyways, focusing on age gap was something that finally let her quit her job and be a full-time YouTuber. The year she started focusing on age gap was the biggest year for her in terms of numbers. She cracked 1.8 million views on a nighttime routine video. And if you sort through her most popular videos, they're all from 4 years ago, the time that she came out with age gap content, and that was the sole focus. And obviously, she was working hard to market her relationship because she went on all those extra reality type channels. And because she was so focused on her age gap, she did a lot of videos talking about her relationship and how she and Larry met. In the first video where she starts answering questions, she says that she was 19 when she met Larry. In another video, she says 18. On the Dr. Phil show, she says she was 20. Why it changes, I don't know. A few things people picked up on was the fact that Larry said that he was in an on-again, off-again relationship with his ex-wife, and that he and Mindy were also on and off. And they said this to say that they didn't rush into the relationship, that was like basically the point they were trying to make. But people started wondering what kind of marriage is on again, off again, because Larry was married and that was his previous relationship. According to Mindy, they met in August of 2012. Larry was the officer that responded to a fender bender Mindy was in. And he asked her if she would like her picture taken because he was a photographer. I do not know why this information didn't send off alarm bells in my head the first time I heard this, but that's how they started talking. And Mindy goes on to say how Larry was just so sweet and thoughtful and all the things that she loved about him compared to guys her age that she was dating. When she talks about the beginning of their relationship, I always got the impression that she chased him. When she talks about the proposal, she's laughing as she says that she was pushing Larry to propose. And the funny thing is, they met in 2012. By both of their accounts, they were on again, off again. And Larry says he was on again with his wife, but he didn't file for divorce until 2015. So immediately, some people were saying that obviously they had an affair, that Larry was incredibly unprofessional for asking an 18, 19, or 20-year-old to take her picture while he was on the job. It was an abuse of power. She was young, she was impressionable, etc., etc. I never really paid much attention to that part because honestly, I didn't care. And to me, I figured unless they or someone that knows them comes forward, we're never going to actually know what went down. It's entirely possible that Larry's ex knew he was seeing someone while they were broken up, and that the paperwork for a divorce just wasn't important for them to file. Larry's son is the same age as Mindy, so maybe because he was starting college, it made things easier to be married on paper. But for a lot of people, this information was too much for them, and they stopped following her and labeled her a homewrecker. Now, more public record information has been found out. Again, these are public records, anyone can access them, but Larry's divorce paperwork was delivered to their old house in Florida, the one she lived in up until last year. Apparently, Larry, at least, was living in Mom's house before the sale went through. So it's just more information that makes it seem like their timeline isn't the most honest. I've mentioned before that a few people that know Mindy in real life have come forward in comments, forums, and have alleged that everyone in their hometown knows that they had an affair, and that's why they left Ohio and went down to Florida. One person has said that Mindy was a fake family friend that infiltrated that way. More recently, someone came forward and commented on the Mindy Stinx memes page and said that her mom is friends with Larry's ex-wife, that the breakup was traumatic enough, let alone her ex's life being on YouTube and Dr. Phil. Not much I can say except karma is a bee. That was the comment that she had left. The meme page creator reached out to this person and asked for more info. And what she provided was that her mom knew the ex for years. That Larry and his ex did not have the best marriage, but they were trying to make it work, and that Larry cheated. That Mindy was aggressive, possessive, and relentless. Larry felt alive again, and Mindy put on the pressure for him to leave his wife. That it was shocking and it happened quickly. She says that Larry's ex-wife is a very private person, but that our informant has seen how Mindy treats people. She's glad everything is coming out now. That Mindy is not well liked in her old town, and that's why they left for Florida. She said that Mindy owns it, and why do you think her name is the Minx? The meme page creator then asked if it was okay if she shared this information, and our source said yes, but just to block out the town name. Now, I will be the first to say, we can't believe everything we hear. I can say that Mindy punched me in the face and it was awesome, and it doesn't make it true. However, I will also say that where there is smoke, there is usually fire. And this sort of fills in the blanks of Mindy's story and inconsistencies. I've seen the person who shared this information comment on Instagram here and there before, and she looks like a real profile, not a burner page or someone that wants to hide behind a fake username. She's never said anything like this before. She doesn't make off-the-wall claims. So personally, I believe her story. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below.